Today I wanted to talk about the market. Many times I get asked, hey, how is the market doing in Prineville? And you know, that is such a general question. Now, to a consumer, buyer or seller, that may not be such a broad question. They want to know how the real estate market is doing. Totally legitimate question. They need that information. However, it's not being asked in the correct way. And what I mean by that is if I get asked, how's the market in Prineville? I'm going to ask, well, what specifically are you talking about? So let me give you an example. I don't care what state, city, doesn't matter where you're at in the country. Every jurisdiction has different markets. You've got your residential. You've got your residential on large parcels of land. You've got farms. You've got ranches. You've got agricultural. You've got commercial. You've got industrial. You've got bare land. You've got maybe recreational land in your area. Doesn't mean all those sectors of the market are doing the same. And chances are they're not. Most likely they're not. Real estate, as everyone knows, comes up and goes down in waves, and so do those separate markets, and not necessarily all together. So for example, here in Prineville, I may be asked, how's the market doing? I would say, well, what specifically market are you looking at? Residential, commercial? That's usually how I start out. If they say commercial, that narrows it way down. Bare land, commercial, industrial, so you get where they're coming from. So for example, you may want to be interested in selling your home. You're wondering how the market's doing. So I would drive that down to say, if you were asking about residential market, okay, like a specific area. So go ahead and say, yeah, how about this subdivision or this section of town? Or maybe I do have a house on 5 acres and I want to know what that kind of market is bringing. Don't be afraid to be specific. Dive into that because you need the correct answers to make the correct decisions. Oftentimes you may get an answer, you know what? For example, maybe the inventory is low. Maybe this person who's asking about the market is asking about bare land, and maybe there's good inventory with bare land and prices are holding even and there's a lot of good options. Maybe you are asking about residential, but you just ask a general question of how's the market, and whoever's answering you might say, there's just no inventory, yet maybe you are on the high end and maybe there's more inventory and more options for you there. My point is, be specific because the market in a whole is not always the same. There's different sectors of the market that all tie into each other, but they can be way different. So for your particular situation or whether you're buying or selling, don't be afraid to ask and dive into those questions and get the right answers you need to move forward. So anyway, that's all for now. Talk to you later.